Hi, everybody. Okay, so this is 1,072 days. 1,072 days since Richard vanished from the barracks there at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. And let me see, I want to make sure that I am on. Okay, I am. Okay, so let's get started. Uh, First, I want to say thank you to everybody for wishing me a happy birthday. Um, Thank you so much. It was a great day. And I want to say thank you for coming on. I know it's late tonight. And um, so we really appreciate your time to this case and our son and the justice for our son, the justice for our service members, also for sticking up for our country, for having some esprit de corps for our country, for being a patriot. It's really, really, really important because the retaliation, the unjust retaliation against our service members that drive them to drugs, drive them to sexual assault and sexual harassment, and drive them to suicide. Um, I saw yesterday that our senator, because we're in South Carolina, Senator Lindsey Graham, was in Pickens, South Carolina, speaking, um, and he got booed, y'all. He didn't just get booed; he got booed, 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 called a traitor, everything, everything. Um, and it was all deserved. It was all deserved. He is so up to no good. He told us to pound sand, really. That's what he essentially did. He told us to pound sand, and he jumps through hoops to get our service members in wars, um, for the war machine, economy. And yet when the soldiers need him, when the family of soldiers need him, he tells them to pound sand. So he absolutely deserved the boo. He absolutely deserved to be called a traitor. And yeah, I hope he turns over a new leaf. I'm praying that he turns over a new leaf. One of the hymns that we sang today in church, there's a wideness in God's mercy. Yeah, uh, absolutely. There's a wideness in God's mercy, and uh, that is that's wider than the seas, right? It's wider than we can imagine, and so I think He can turn on a dime uh, and do the right thing. But right now, He deserved that. I can tell you that right now, firsthand. Firsthand. This is not third party. This is firsthand. So I wanted to bring that up. And then another uh, uh, topic that I wanted to talk about, hard facts in this case, that is really unbelievable, that we released, that we had confirmed, and that is the CID and FBI numbers that we have. We have a CID number, a CID case number. We have a FBI case number. Are they Richards? No, they belong to Leilani Hart. They are Leilani Hart's CID confession number and FBI confession number. These are Leilani Hart's. Leilani Hart is the mother of First Lieutenant Dallas Hart, who we suspect, who we believe, because we have witness testimony that not us, it doesn't come from us, okay? It comes from witness testimony, and Sammy heard it, so he could also um, uh, confirm that we have these these testimonies, that First Lieutenant Dallas Hart was Delta Battery 143 platoon leader, and that would make him Richard's platoon leader. And it's not us. This is not us. We see the CID has made us the chief investigators of our son's case. They have put us in this position. They have put us in this danger, and no cover for it, no protection for it, not even from the DA, right? Not even from Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks in El Paso, where are you? Where are you? Don't you want to do your duty? Um, and so we have been given a lead that said that Richard's platoon leader assaulted Richard. Okay. Now there's these rumors out there that he raped Richard. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the lead has told us, has informed us that Richard was assaulted by the platoon leader. And I just want to make sure that people understand what we're saying. So it wasn't us, but it was witnesses that more than two, that have identified First Lieutenant Dallas Hart, former First Lieutenant Dallas Hart, as the platoon leader for Delta Battery 143. Now, I know there are claims that he did not serve with Delta Battery 143. Okay, those are claims. I want evidence. Where is General McConville, Lieutenant General Bernabe, Brigadier General Stewart, this new general? Where is Command Sergeant Major Jakovitz? Where is the platoon leader? Right? Where is the platoon leader of Delta Battery 143? He should have contacted us really at the beginning, right? That was his duty, to contact us. Even the things, why is Command Sergeant Major Jakovitz doing the work of a first lieutenant when it comes to giving us Richard's things, and so where is this platoon leader, right? Where is this platoon leader? When we're being told by witnesses that it is Dallas Hart, and where is any kind of official documentation, truly official, not some made up travel voucher, but an official document that I don't know how they get away with this stuff, that gives us some peace, in this situation, because we have the CID and the FBI file numbers of Leilani Hart's confession to the Criminal Investigative Division, to the Federal Bureau of Investigators, of major crimes. And she's confessing of these major crimes. She's confessing to child pornography. Okay? She's confessing that her son, Dallas Hart, while being a first lieutenant in the United States Army at Fort Bliss in the ADA, serving with Richard, is having an a, a not too good of a relationship, right, with a family member. Let's just say an intimate relationship with a family member, with maybe family members. You know, um, that just, that's just, uh, so I know. I'm sorry. I have to, because the next thing I'm talking about is the 7-year old. The 7-year old that was sexually assaulted in Leilani Hart's master bedroom. And she's also confessing in this criminal investigative report that she turned in that she didn't report this in a timely manner. Okay, that's this confession. It's so criminal. And where is where are where's our law enforcement on this? And I was given this report. The former Fort Bliss soldier sentenced to 35 years in prison for sexually assaulting, abusing a child, a 6-year-old child. And it says here Fort Bliss soldier was sentenced to more than 3 decades in prison for sexually abusing a 6-year-old child at a home on the Army post, officials said. Trevor Delan Lahu, I don't know if I'm saying that right, was sentenced Tuesday to 35 years. So this was on June 23rd, 2023, 9 days ago, and was sentenced Tuesday to 35 years in prison on one count of aggravated sexual abuse of a child. The sentencing was handed down by U.S. District Judge Kathleen Cardone at the Albert Armendariz, Senior Federal Courthouse in downtown El Paso. The sentencing came after Lahu pleaded guilty to the charge during an August 8th plea hearing. Wow. This is how slow between November 2014 and 2015, y'all. We're in 2023. So slow. So slow, our Department of Justice. Okay, so we know that a 7-year-old child was being sexually assaulted in Leilani Hart's bedroom by multiple members of her household. Where are the arrests? Where are the arrests? Where is the inquiry? Where is this? Oh, you've been cleared of charges. But then Leilani Hart, if this is a fake charge, then that's a crime too. You see? And we have the CID number of this file that was notarized, and we spoke to the Notary Republic. So it was notarized on the 22nd of July, the day before Richard went missing in 2020. And we have the FBI number. Where's the law enforcement? Okay, so some more developments have happened today that are really serious. And it's just, this is so obvious. Matter of fact, I wrote some things down about how obvious this is. And let's see. Yeah, this is not covert. This was in our discussion today. This is not covert. This is so obvious. The cover up in this is so obvious. When they're severing help to a family of a missing soldier, this is so obvious. When they are retaliating against a whistleblower, it's so obvious. When they are retaliating against a family of a whistleblower, it's so obvious. If they're continuing to retaliate against whistleblowers and even preventing them from getting onto Fort Bliss because they could solve this whole crime by getting onto Fort Bliss, that kind of blocking, that kind of retaliation is obstruction of justice. And so this is a compounding of injustice, a compounding of crimes, right? And so I'm just speechless with how obvious this is and these new developments, because we absolutely got confirmation that Leilani Hart put in these complaints. We know what they say. We have the numbers. She has, having those numbers means that she has a power within the CID, a connection, right? Even more so than former special agent in the CID, Tavita Nusa. She has more than that. In order to get the CID number, in order to get the FBI number, in order to go to the JAG to do retaliation, in order to go to media to get retaliation, um, there is a concerted effort here to cover up Richard's investigation in his whereabouts, right, by aiding Leilani Hart. That's just so obvious to me. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And, that's why it's so important to expose that the command there, that the CID, that the DA, that the AG, that all anyone that can help us cannot tell us in an official letter that First Lieutenant Dallas Hart was not Richard Halliday's platoon leader. I mean, come on. That should be an easy thing to do. It's just like the name of the dog. They don't want to give us the name of the canine. Right? It's super easy to do. But if they gave it to us, or they don't have it because it's all fake, see, then they're liable. And they'll be implicated. And yet, through all of this, they have become implicated with obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence and tampering with witnesses. And, the list goes on and on. It's so obvious. So, I'm looking at the next step here. And the next step is General James Eisenhower, Major General James Eisenhower. See, he can reinstate our witness so that he can enter Fort Bliss. Then he would have the power to investigate, and within a day, 3 days, we would know what happened to Richard. That's how far we are. And so, is Major General Eisenhower going to obstruct justice? Is he going to? Because, see, if he does not reinstate our key witness ability to enter Fort Bliss, uh, that is messing with this whole case. It's messing with the whole case. And then he's going to lockstep with the pedophiles. Because what do you call protecting Leilani Hart's confession of sexually abusing, sexually assaulting a 7-year-old in her master bedroom by multiple members of her family? What do you call aiding and abetting or protecting or what? A Leilani Hart's confession that she had for long periods of time child pornography in her home. What do you call the general aiding and abetting, right? Aiding and abetting, standing beside or whatever, covering up for First Lieutenant Dallas Hart and his incestual relationship that he's carrying on while he was active duty. What do you call that? So in order, and then, okay, so that's Richard's case, and then we have our case where our civil rights have been violated. Absolutely. And we need our key witness to be able to go to Judge Robert Lee Robert Lee Shuck. I have to say these names over and over again. To say, hey, did you ever sign a warrant that gave the assault team of the Fugitive Apprehension Unit there in Sarasota, Florida, the right to trespass and enter the Halliday house? You know? What's going on with that? And then more than that, did you sign off on the probable cause affidavit, right? Did you sign off on the probable cause affidavit? Because I can tell you firsthand, see, we need those questions answered. And we need to know, is there any autopsy reports in regards to Richard Halliday's case? We need to know that. Because they won't answer that simple question. That's a yes or no, right? Oh, yeah, let me give. So this is a double case. And getting back to the probable cause, in order to sign off on a warrant, you have to have a probable cause. And the probable cause has to be in Richard's case that he was a fugitive. There was a arrest warrant out for him, or armed and dangerous, or whatever. And any of those cases would make him a red Interpol, but that's not what they did. He's a yellow Interpol. So that doesn't harmonize with what they're saying. Something is amiss here. And when they can't produce a warrant, and we know for a fact, because we talked to them for quite a while when they came into the door to search our home, that they had no probable cause to think that Richard was there, armed and dangerous, a danger to society or to us or to the neighborhood or anything. Okay? There was nothing like that. And so their recording of that time will prove that. Absolutely. So there was no probable cause. So, you know, where's the warrant? There's no warrant then if there's no probable cause. And that's how we can be so sure of, uh, you know, going and asking them, hey, and we got the contact information for the sheriff there. So, what where is it? Okay, so we also received confirmation that it was the JAG office that was responsible for blocking, you know, uh, our key witness from entering Fort Bliss. And the JAG, I guess, just put a piece of paper under the general's hand. And, does that happen? I wonder if he just signs off, signs off, signs off. I mean, did he understand? Was he briefed properly to um, sign that restriction, the ban of a key witness in Richard Halliday, the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier's case? And, pray for this whistleblower, that, he retired um, Friday, but, in charge of Fort Bliss security. Not someone to, I mean, um, yeah, pray. The DA, the AG, by um, not doing their duty, for shirking their duty, they have put so many people in danger. Absolutely. Including children, including, this compounding uh, injustice and criminal activity. Absolutely. And it's hurt so many people. So, a lot of people have major crimes alleged, and I'm, you can't help but be saddened by the whole thing, right? But we need to have accountability in order to restore the trust and uh, the laws, because let me tell you, the laws and the standard operating procedures, the protocols that we have not been followed at all. There's a new dark web kind of standard operating procedure, and that's been already um, exposed, that there is a different standard operating procedure for these people that are in these powers, that they can, they're just covering up for crime. And it's just really shocking what they're getting away with. Very obviously, it's not covert. You look a little bit and it's right there in front of your eyes. Hi, Danielle. Thank you for coming on. Um, I've been celebrating my birthday today, and it's been a pretty quiet day with my mom, a good friend, and my husband. And it's been just a beautiful day. And so to end it, like thinking about this kind of situation all the time, every time, can you imagine the harm that they've done, the weight that they have put on our family? It's it's absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. So if you have any questions, I'm not at liberty to tell you the news, but I just want to let you know or request that you pray for um, the key witnesses, the whistleblowers in this case, because they are in danger. They are in danger, and they are a result to the compounding problems that have been going on at Fort Bliss. And when you have it's like all the time. I go on to the news and I'm seeing Fort Bliss soldier. There is a pedophile problem on Fort Bliss, y'all. There's a pedophile problem on Fort Bliss, which means that there is a desire for children, and that's why they had to move those children out of the emergency intake center away from Fort Bliss all the way across country to North Carolina, because there's a pedophile problem on Fort Bliss. And if there's a pedophile problem on Fort Bliss, then there is um, a a child porn problem on Fort Bliss. And if there's a child porn problem on Fort Bliss, then there is illegal drug problem on Fort Bliss. And if all of that is true, then there is a gun smuggling problem on Fort Bliss. And you know, come on. We have our law enforcement agents being compromised. We have our security, the top security directors being compromised. Okay? Being compromised. And it goes to this Pilgrim's Progress lesson that we just finished. And it's, Vanity Fair is so big, you have to go through it. You cannot go over it, under it, or around it. You have to go through it. And if you don't participate in Vanity Fair, then you get retaliated against. And that is what is going on here. Um, and to stand up against the Vanity Fair is putting your life at risk. And you know what? I'm willing, because I'm not going to put up with this pedophilia. Okay. 14-year-old girl living in the barracks being raped. Where are those that always claim that they're for the females? Right? Where are they? Where is Major General Clem Coward, who is supposed to clean up this mess about all this sexual assault in the military? Where is he? Just one failure after the other. So I just we request that you write Major General Eisenhower a letter saying, look, you've got a compromised security on Fort Bliss. That's on you. You've got a compromised security on Fort Bliss. That's on you. We request that anybody write to Major General, we will too, Major General Eisenhower, and say you have a compromised security on Fort Bliss. And also, that's on him. That's big, y'all. And also, request that he does the right thing in this case. He needs to reinstate our witness. And this witness, okay, witnessed the irregularities, witnessed the interference, heard a confession of committing a bodily harm, which he says was a confession essentially of murder. And, we have the CID number and the FBI number of Leilani Hart's confession. And that means that she was manipulating. She was getting in there and she was manipulative and she got her numbers. So it is the compromised law enforcement, the compromised security on Fort Bliss that needs to be, Major General Eisenhower needs to be held accountable for that. He needs to be the one that changes things. And if he doesn't change things in this case, with what I've been talking about, then he's implicating himself in participating with the forced disappearance or the obstruction of justice in the investigation of Richard Halliday. I mean, we're just that close. We're just that understanding. It's so understanding. It's so obvious now what happened. So, all it takes is Major General Eisenhower. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. That is the major point, the manipulation of our law enforcement, of our security. It's been compromised. Leilani Hart played a huge role in that. Compromised in the JAG, compromised in CID, compromised in our security. There's a compromise, a huge compromise here. And that is lays at the feet of Major General Eisenhower. Now, he inherited a mess, but he's there now. And, how can they allow this kind of compromise? Because if they're compromising this sex cult, if that charm was so much that they, had to compromise themselves with adultery, with participating in this sex cult, that puts all of their national security, top secret security at risk. All of that. So many will lose their jobs because you cannot have that kind of compromise, that kind of sexual compromise. So, okay, everyone. Thank you so much. It's a lot to take in, and tomorrow I will be revealing more. I'll be at liberty to say more. Right now, we're waiting a few hours, maybe a day, to see. Gosh, I'm just not at liberty to say. But it's so bad, y'all. It's so bad. When is this going to stop? When is this going to stop? This over and over and over again, hurting so many people and pulling them into this muck where, this abyss where there is crying and gnashing of teeth. And, you know, when is it going to stop? And I'll tell you right now that Major General Eisenhower has the power to make it stop. Yes. Yeah. He can do an independent investigation. He cannot kick this can to the CID because they're compromised, you see. There's conflict of interest with Special Agent Tavita Nusa, with head special agent Marlon Soto. They cannot kick it to the CID. So this is up to Major General Eisenhower. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much, and I will be back tomorrow, God willing.